Dear Journal, I write to you now from a charming little cottage made of stone with wooden doors and window frames, and a tiny tile-floored courtyard with room to sit in the sun and hang up laundry. Perched on the northern coast in the tiny town of Sajama, I can hear the waves softly roaring just down the lane from this lovely little home base I'm so grateful to have for the month. I've been in Madeira for 2 weeks already, full of nearly non-stop wandering, hiking, photo shooting, and exploring with my love, Chris. Today is my first real day of rest since we got here, but before I continue, let's let some clips roll to catch you up on some of our adventures.
Ready?
Yeah.
I'll stay for a moment or hang for a while. You tell me what you want to. You can stay here or walk for miles. I could be hard or I could be weak. I could be anything you need. Yes, I will always be good company. I could be off or I could be on. I could be anything you want. Yes, I will always be. Yes, I will always be good company. Jokes and secrets too, and I've made promises to folks, and I followed my words through. I could be hard or I could be weak. I could be anything you need. Yes, I will always be good company. Yes, I will always be. Yes, I will always be good company. Come along. What lies ahead I cannot guarantee. We could be lost or either way I'll be your company. But either way I'll be your company.
Okay, we're trying to back up, but this cow won't move out of the way. I think it's sleeping, but the turning radius of our car is not good, so we can't actually get out of this parking lot. We want to go home to bed.
Move.
Move over. Move. Oh, there we go. There we go. Good cow. No, you gotta move a little more. Maybe we can pull forward now.
There we go. We're
Okay,
out.
bye cow. Good night. Go. So you all might have noticed it's a bit quieter here today. I had to drop Chris off at the airport. He had to go back home to work, which is sad, and I'll miss him. But we will be seeing each other again in a couple weeks from now in a new place. But I decided I wanted to stay on for at least 2 more weeks here in Madeira. And the reason for that is one of my life dreams and goals is to be able to go to places that I want to travel to, that I dreamed of traveling to, and stay for at least a month at a time. I love experiencing new places, but I don't often, I always enjoy, but I often feel rushed through places and rushed to take the epic photos and rushed to take the videos, and I just don't get that chance to really slow it down and get to feel a place and feel what it's like to live there. And so that has been one of my dreams for a few years now, since I found out about this place, Madeira in Portugal. And when I found out about it, I always thought, I want to stay there for at least a month. I want to find a nice little Airbnb somewhere, settle in, make myself a home, and explore at my own kind of slower pace where I can really just ease into everything. And if I find cool photo locations, I can wait for the right weather, and just having that time on my hands really takes away the anxiety in me and helps me to slow down and just be here. So I will be alone for the next couple of weeks, and although I miss Chris dearly and everybody else, I do find alone time to be very sacred to me, and I've never been afraid of being alone. It's always been of huge importance to me, and maybe I am severely introverted, but I find I always feel the most connected to myself when I have these periods of time to be alone and to just think and feel and be here and go at my own kind of pace and let my creative ideas bubble up when they will, instead of trying to rush and plan or being there for other people, which I love being there for other people. But whenever there are people around, my focus will always be on making sure everybody around me is happy. And although I am happiest when everybody else is happy, to get in touch with my truest, most creative self, I usually find that I have to be alone for a few days at a time to do that. So yeah, the last 2 weeks have been like full on, full pace. We wanted to do everything while Chris was still here since he had a much shorter time. So we've been hiking almost every day and waking up early to go out before sunrise, and going out for sunsets, and it's been very full on, which has been great. But now I'm probably gonna take a few days just to unwind here in the charming stone cottage as I pat the wall, which I have already kind of fallen in love with this little spot. So I'll take a few days to relax here, catch up on a little bit of work, and just enjoy my time, and then start exploring more and shooting and being creative at my own kind of slower pace. And most important of all, I just want to enjoy living here and being here. Oh, and the other thing in my spare time is I've been reading my favorite books, and I just finished this one, The Little Paris Bookshop, which I highly suggest if you love charming stories that make you laugh and cry, which it did for me. I did both. It was a very good book though, so if you're looking for a fun little winsome warm-hearted novel, I highly suggest The Little Paris Bookshop by Nina George. That might be one of my favorite books this year. I spend my days now letting myself be mesmerized by the pulsing and breathing of nature and life around me, practicing letting my mind slow down so I can stay more open and present to my senses and surroundings. Although I do have a lot of work to catch up on during some days, I try to stay carefully aware of taking time for myself, exploring new areas of the island and doing things that might feed and fuel my soul and creativity. I even took myself out on a little solo date in Funchal, where I saw the movie Dune, and then spent the evening letting myself be overcome by the wonder of the sparkling city lights sprawling across the mountains. I think there is almost nothing more beautiful than these moments when you feel so fully yourself, you can just let your body and mind be moved by wonder and inspiration without feeling nervous or held back by social standards. I recently read a quote by Gabrielle Roth that in many shamanic societies, if you came to a person feeling disheartened or dispirited, they would ask one of 4 questions. When did you stop dancing? When did you stop singing? When did you stop being enchanted by stories? When did you stop finding comfort in the sweet territory of silence? Perhaps my favorite place where I've spent most of my time this month has been on this mountain, a place often shrouded in fog, towering over 1,100 meters high above and behind the stone house where I've been staying. Up here contains both elements of harshness and lush beauty, a balance that I love to find myself exploring and creating in. This higher altitude is also home to the mystical Silva forest, with trees possibly over 800 years old. a place classified by Madeira as the reserve of rest and silence. I can physically feel the calming, deep-rooted energy of these ancients as I walk among them. It's a fairy tale place bursting with untold stories in which I find myself immensely inspired to channel this restful, silent energy into creation, even if it means sharing space with the local residents. I was here first, but I'm kind of feeling like I'm being pushed out of my space now. I wonder if I should find a different spot.